Why study A-level English language? Just think about it. Language is woven into every aspect of our lives. We are exposed to it and use it from the moment we wake until we go to sleep at night. The problem with language is that it is so self-evident that we barely stop and take notice of it. We are not always aware of just how important it is. The words we choose, the grammar we use, the topics we decide to talk about have a direct influence on our thoughts, our actions, and what we believe to be real. The study of A-level English language will help you understand how people communicate and assign meaning, how they do things with words, or how language relates to social factors, such as the language used by social groups, occupations and genders, and the regional, national and global variation of English, as well as the way in which babies and young children acquire language. Studying these subjects will open your eyes to a world that has previously been hidden from you. By studying language in depth, you will develop critical awareness and gain invaluable skills for your future working life. These are vital communication, analytical and critical skills. This critical awareness will allow you to be a conscious, critical human who is able to challenge taken for granted assumptions, understand the role of language in the world and widen your own understanding of the world around you, as well as help you craft your own ideas effectively through the language choices you make and explore and marvel at the diversity of and the ever-evolving English language. The course is divided into 3 parts, 2 exam papers, both of which are 2 hours and 30 minutes in length, and a non-examination unit or coursework consisting of 2 pieces of coursework. For Paper 1 Section A, Textual Variations and Representations, students will study a range of texts about various subjects, from various writers and speakers, for various audiences, purposes, and from a variety of genres and modes. Students will explore how language is shaped according to its audience, purpose, genre and mode, shaped according to its context, how it's used to construct meanings and representations, and used to enact relationships between writers, speakers and audiences, or between participants within a text. This exploration will include methods of language analysis, about how identity is constructed, about how audiences are addressed and positioned, and the functions of the text and the structure and organisation of these texts, and most importantly then, how the representations from the text producer are produced. For Section B of Paper 1, you will cover children's language development. Within this unit, you will explore how children develop their spoken and written skills and learn how all of us began to speak, read and write. You will study the functions of children's language, the phonological, pragmatic, lexical, semantic and grammatical development of children, the different genres of speech and writing, the different modes of communication, and the theories and research about children's language development. Paper 2 is entitled Language Diversity and Change and covers a vast range of linguistic issues to debate and analyse. The aim of this area of study is to allow students to explore language diversity and change over time. Students will study the key concepts of audience, purpose, genre and mode, and will explore language in its wider social, geographical and historical contexts. They will also explore processes of language change. This part of the subject content also requires students to study social attitudes to and debates about language diversity and change. We will study a range of examples of language in use and research data to inform the study of diversity and change. Our key areas of study are sociolects, to include social and occupational groups, gender and ethnicity. And within sociolects, we focus on how people use language to communicate within the context of these different groups. We study accent and dialect, which includes regional, national and international varieties of English. And we focus on how language is used differently based on a person's geographical location and sense of identity. We look at texts that use language to represent these different groups, and we cover linguistic research findings and theories for each of the aforementioned topics. Students will study a range of texts that convey attitudes to language diversity and change. The texts studied will include those written for non-specialist audiences. Students will explore how texts are produced to convey views and opinions about language issues. They will explore how texts represent language, construct an identity for the producer, position the reader and seek to influence them, and are connected to discourses about language. Throughout the course, students will also develop their writing skills. They will develop skills in writing discursively about language issues in an academic essay, writing analytically about text as part of discourses about language, and writing about language issues in a variety of forms to communicate their ideas to a non-specialist audience. The aim of the non-examination assessment is to allow students to explore and analyse language independently and develop and reflect upon their own writing expertise. It requires students to carry out two different kinds of individual research. Firstly, a language investigation totalling 2,000 words excluding their data, and a piece of original writing and commentary, both 750 words each. For the language investigation, students may choose to pursue an area of individual interest. For example, this might include representations of different individuals, social groups or nationalities, a look at regional dialects or gendered talk, looking at language of new communication technologies or children's language use, for example. Underpinning this piece of research is the challenge that, in consultation with their teachers, students should collect their own data as the basis of their study, as well as select their own approach for analysis. Investigations need a specific focus and will involve the student analysing their data and critically assessing a relevant theory in response to the aim of their investigation before drawing their own conclusions. For the original writing, students will produce a piece of writing using an existing text as a model to explore language. Students will produce one piece of writing based on one of the following three areas: the power of persuasion, the power of storytelling, or the power of information. In preparation for the writing, students will study a range of style models before selecting and analysing one style model in detail, and produce thorough annotations to analyse how language has been used. Students will also create a commentary to allow them to consider and evaluate the style model, the original writing process, and the effectiveness of the final piece of writing. The course is assessed through two 2-hour and 30-minute exams. Paper 1 and Paper 2 are each worth 40%, totalling 80% of the A-level grade. The non-examination assessment is worth 20% of the final A-level grade, with each piece of coursework being worth 10% each. For our enrichment opportunities, we encourage students to engage with language debates and issues in the real world, and to take a more active role in their thinking of English language. We recommend that our students use social media to engage with the ever-changing language trends and to follow linguistic issues closely as they arise in the news and wider media. Through the creative elements of the course, students have gone on to enter creative writing competitions in addition to the study of the course, and we have had success in students' work going on to be published as a result. The study of English language is a topic that is very much alive, and our discussions, learning and engagement with current affairs and linguistic debate go beyond simply studying English language as a subject in the classroom. Here you will find further details on the specifics of the course and further opportunities for our students to take on wider research outside of the classroom, such as e-magazine websites containing a variety of articles on both language and literature, and a number of Twitter accounts dedicated to the subject of English language, including linguistic news blogs, specialist teachers, writers and lecturers. English language is a subject that creates so many professional opportunities for life beyond A-levels. Many students undertake the course to complement their other A-level subjects such as sociology, psychology and media studies. In addition to this, English language provides a solid foundation for careers in a variety of different fields, including commerce, publishing, public relations, law, media, teaching, translation, and many more. For further information, you can contact the Head of English, Mrs. Crickmore, the Head of Key Stage 5, Mrs. Wilson, or Mr. Farrington, an English language teacher, all via email.